Woodchester Manor stood overlooking rolling valleys and farmland, a solid stone fortress that in the daylight looked as if a noble ought to be residing in it, apart from the peeling paint and unkempt grounds. The innards of this building were dark and simple, providing an eerie feel to the once magnificent mansion. Few windows were lit at night, ever since the strange, harsh young man and his serving staff had moved in 3 months ago, claiming that the old building had belonged to his father before the old man had passed. Vincent Blackwood, the new master of the house, strode down the hallway of the Cole mansion, his black polished leather shoes tapping on the tiled corridor as he briskly made his way. He was a tall man, if he could be called a man, having just turned 18 in the past month. His onyx hair was long enough to tie back and made him look elegant, yet menacing. He was dressed as any man of his class would be, simply yet refined. He wore a dark emerald frock coat with a matching waistcoat, although in the dim lights of his residence, the ensemble looked as though he were wearing his morning blacks. Underneath his dark coats, he wore a simple white linen shirt. A deep brown cravat was tied at his neck, so tightly that the tie seemed to be strangling the man, although he did not seem to mind the fabric pressing against his throat. His pale blue eyes gleamed as he walked to his destination, a parlor on the opposite side of the house, as if he were holding the most brilliant joke back from the world. They held a secret within them, a secret so deliciously tempting that he wanted to shout to the world what he planned to do, yet at the same time keep his sick thoughts to himself for his own pleasure. As he approached the large, dark brown double doors, he pulled a handkerchief from his pocket, wiping his hands on the clean white cloth, leaving bloody fingerprints smeared on it. He reached one of his spider-like hands out and jerked open the heavy door with ease. He stepped towards the middle of the room, where a large, plush throne awaited him. He maneuvered himself into the seat, which, although it was quite a tall seat, required him to bend his long, lean limbs to odd angles. Once he was settled in the seat, a maid scurried over like a mouse, timidly offering her master grapes. He leisurely took them from a tray, one at a time, his lips wrapping around each individual fruit slowly as he savored the taste. Another brought forth a carafe of deep red liquid, pouring it into a glass for the gentleman and setting it on a table beside him. A third servant, a butler, advanced to his master, gripping the arm of a terrified girl that he dragged beside him. "Master Blackwood," the man's voice was rough and grisly. "We caught this girl trying to escape the grounds this evening." The old man refused to look into his master's eyes as he spoke, frightened of the pale, icy gaze. "What shall we do with her, sir? She is your property." Vincent Blackwood nonchalantly picked up his wine-glass and took a drawling sip. While holding the cup to one side, his head bent in a seductive, yet chilling fashion, he mused calmly, "She is a pretty little thing, but I haven't the time or need for animals that wander off." He waved his free hand calmly, as if shooing the servant off. "Bring her to the dungeons. I shall kill her." The old servant dragged the girl off, her screams echoing off the walls of the empty parlor. Blackwood smiled devilishly, relishing in the girl's wild, animal-like shrieks as she begged for mercy. A lamb on the way to the slaughter. His eyes were ablaze with light as he took another sip of his beverage, some of which spilled out of the cup, tinting his lips scarlet. "Tonight," he said, wiping his finger on the rim of the glass and sucking the drops of liquid off it, "my drink shall be fresh."